Located just outside of Murrells Inlet, South Carolina on Highway 17, Brookgreen Gardens has a place that brings art and nature together. It has 20 distinct gardens, and it is real rich in South Carolina history. George White, when we talk about bringing art and nature together in a garden, what are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about 500 sculptures that are placed throughout the gardens and on the landscape property. And it's simply a blending of that sculpture art with the horticulture that surrounds it.
Well, I know you've got so many gardens here and we don't have time to talk about all of them, but George has got his favorite because I believe George likes foliage cutter. You must have originated in Florida somewhere.
I did. I came from Florida. I was director of horticulture at Marie Selby Botanical Gardens in Sarasota, and I grew up in Florida.
Well, starting out at the welcome center, it looks like you have a wide selection of caladiums. Why did you select this plant?
Caladiums are one of my favorite plants, but there's a diversity in color and leaf pattern like no other aroid. It also gives us color through the whole summer season, and that's what we lack in some of the flowering plants, where they do flower but then they rest during the hot months. The caladiums will start in July and go straight through October.
George, let's talk about some of your plants around Diana's pool, because you've got some plants that are tropical in nature, and one is variegated. I believe George really likes different colors on foliage. I
do. We substitute foliage color a lot for flowers around here. The plant that I particularly like this year that we featured is Manihot esculenta. That's variegated tapioca. That's where you get tapioca from. Also, it's sometimes called variegated cassava.
Well, the green and yellow colors almost look like it ought to belong on a John Deere tractor.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It's a beautiful shade of green.
Well, what about your plant with the pink leaves and dark red leaves?
Those are acalyphas. There's many varieties of those. We use them throughout the garden too. It's something that we can plant as a 6-inch plant at the beginning of summer, and it'll turn out to be a 5 or 6 foot shrub by the end of it.
I know Brookgreen really takes pride in its butterflies, especially the butterfly garden, and you've got one plant that a lot of farmers fight in their row crops. Now, you've got it in a garden. That's the most unusual plant, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's purslane. The colors are just vibrant. It stays open most of the day, but it does close late in the afternoon and closes for the night.
And of course, the zinnias, when you talk about vibrant colors, you certainly get them with zinnias, don't you?
Yeah, we love zinnias. When we're talking about the small leaf zinnias, or the narrow leaf zinnias, particularly the profusion varieties do very well throughout the summer, and they attract insects galore, particularly butterflies.
Well, George, a lot of people are getting into grass now in gardening. You've got an ornamental grass that really has an unusual appearance. What is it?
Yeah, it's Pennisetum Carly Rose. And we like Carly Rose in particular. There are many pennisetums, but we like Carly Rose because it flowers from the very beginning of summer all the way to the first frost.
George, it's hard to believe that some gardeners are lazy like myself, especially when it rains a lot and that grass really starts growing. I understand y'all have got a ground cover garden and you've got a wide variety of plants. What are you trying to demonstrate here?
We're trying to give people options and not to have a grass lawn. There are options. There are ground covers that can replace grass with less maintenance and less water in particular.
Well, it sounds like my type of gardening. Tell us about some of your plants.
Well, one of our favorites this year is perennial peanut, which is a peanut. It's not an edible peanut, but it's Arachnus, which is in the same genus. It's a lovely little ground cover that stays tight to the ground, has this beautiful little pea-shaped flower, a yellow flower. It's just gorgeous. And
I know some others right nearby. What are they?
Yeah, those are a beach sunflower, Helianthus debilis. And we use that a lot. It grows like a weed, literally, in the coastal South Carolina. Probably not a good choice for people that aren't on the coast, but it actually is native to Florida, which it grows on the sand dunes. So it gives you some idea of how easy it is to grow and how little water is required.
Another garden that really interests a lot of people throughout the South, because we've had periods of dry weather, is your succulent garden, or some people may want to call it xeriscaping.
Right.
And it looks like you've got a wide variety of cacti in there.
We do, cactus and succulents. We always do that every year because we want to show people that no matter what you have, whether it's dry or wet, we have a plant for it. And particularly with this drought, that's been the easiest garden to take care of all summer.
Well, describe this sculpture above the succulent garden, because I know that's somewhat of a new addition to Brookgreen Gardens. Y'all are very proud of it.
We are. That's called marine relief. And we've tried to play off that sculpture, and that's part of the blending of art and nature, where the sculpture is a wave, and underneath it we've created sort of this coral reef from succulents and cacti.
Well, when you talk about blending art and nature, you have to talk about the human element, because Brookgreen Gardens would not be possible without all the volunteers and hard workers that you have. And it's a garden that everyone can enjoy. And I know we've got some viewers that like to talk to you, maybe find out more about the many other gardens located on this historic property in the Palmetto State. How can they reach you when you aren't busy working in all these gardens? Because I know it's a full-time job.
Well, you can call Brookgreen anytime, and that number is 843-235-6000, 6000. Or you can go to our website, which is brookgreen.org. And if you want to email me, then you just go gweich@brookgreen.org.
Well, thank you for letting Team Making It Grow visit with you, and we certainly congratulate you all for preserving such a historic and beautiful part of the Palmetto State.
Well, thanks, Roland. We really enjoy you being here.